Petrov the Flying Fox, written by Robert Levy, narrated by Saethon Williams. Chapter 1. Petrov stepped from his den and sniffed the fresh late March breeze, filled with promise of sweet new grass and abundant food. The mice and rabbits would be moving about soon, filling their own stomachs and preparing their nests to complete nature's inexorable cycle in which each species perpetuates itself while filling the plate of another. "No longer will I have to wander for hours," Petrov thought, "digging through snow at times a metre thick to find some puny scrap of food to feed Raver and those two meddlesome children." There had been three, of course. Petrov's brain replayed the scene as surely as if he were watching it for the first time. They were at the edge of the high meadow, the one with the ocean of miniature wild daisies that stretched almost 2 kilometres, tapering as it crossed the ravine to spill over a craggy bluff to the valley hundreds of metres below. He had never actually stalked that valley, but often imagined, with subliminal sensuousness, the feel and smell of the dense underbrush neatly carved in half by the river. Many times he had sat on the large rock outcropping, staring at the distant trees across an impenetrable mass of air, watching the hawks and eagles effortlessly descending and climbing the cliff, cutting large circles through his barricade. The day of the event, as Petrov had come to call it, he and Raver were lounging with full bellies after a successful hunt. The kits were romping and play-hunting, often running over him, taking little nips at his feet and tail. Ipsa, the unruly, every family had one, had wandered a little way off in pursuit of a butterfly. Petrov was on his back, the other kits in his face, when he saw the hawk. Too slow, he was on his feet running toward Ipsa. It was over in an instant. Petrov relived his nightmare. Hawk circling, folding wings, lightning descent with talons ready, sharp and curved. Here, gone, just like that. Nothing more. Life was measured by the flap of a wing. The event had haunted Petrov all winter. Although not usually given to deep musing, he found himself awake night after night, replaying the scene, examining his role, and trying to find meaning in a seemingly random item in nature's vastness. He became intolerant of the kit's usual noise and activity, short-tempered with everyone. He took long solitary walks, only rarely returning with freshly caught supper. Often he could be found off by himself, entranced in thought, mumbling incomprehensible phrases like "believe in what you know," over and over in mantra-like cadence. Petrov himself was as unaware of his thoughts as he was of his mood. It came then as a complete surprise, no, a revelation, when one of these ideas detoured in his brain and exploded on his consciousness. Awakening with a start, he had the sudden, unquenchable feeling that he understood some grand concept of nature, and, while he could not put the knowledge into words, it had become part of him, always shaping his perceptions, always present, always trustworthy, always secure. The next day his mood had brightened considerably. He took the family out hunting and brought back a plump rabbit. He sat around the den playing catch the mouse. Raver chattered away constantly without really knowing what to say. After putting the kits down for a nap, Petrov slipped out the door. Armed with his new confidence, he went to the rock and began to study the birds. He watched the eagles soar effortlessly, a little dip of a wingtip here, a slight lean of the head there, laying way over on tight turns near the wall. The hawks, too, although they were a bit more nimble in tight quarters, held aloft with hardly a twitch of a muscle, suspended in a river of hot air rising from the valley. Petrov was particularly fascinated by the launching process. He absorbed every movement, every slight change in position or balance, every nuance of muscle or feather movement. When he was sure he knew everything he could learn from watching, Petrov tried a few tentative jumps. Flapping his legs, then extending all four as he leaped from his perch to the meadow 4 meters below, he sustained a number of painful insults to his dream, not to mention his body. Reluctantly, he admitted that only birds could fly like that. It was a disappointed but undismayed fox that walked
Sample complete. Ready to continue?